Big news in the social media front today. TikTok has just escaped a potential U.S. ban after the Trump administration reached a deal with China. For years, TikTok's future in America hung in the balance, with national security concerns fueling calls to block the app entirely. This agreement means the platform, with its 170 million American users, can keep running, at least for now. To me, this isn't just about one app surviving. It's about how politics, power, and technology collide, and how the fate of global companies can be decided in a negotiation room rather than a boardroom. The real question is, what does this deal actually mean for the future of social media regulation? Just a few years ago, TikTok found itself at the center of a political storm. The Trump administration argued that TikTok, owned by China's ByteDance, posed a national security threat because of concerns over how data from American users could be accessed by Beijing. The idea of banning the app outright gained traction, especially as U.S.-China relations grew more tense. At one point, the White House even pushed for ByteDance to sell TikTok's U.S. operations to an American company, with names like Microsoft and Oracle floated as potential buyers. But that plan never fully materialized. Instead, months of back-and-forth negotiations unfolded, filled with lawsuits, executive orders, and high-level talks between Washington and Beijing. TikTok insisted it operated independently and invested heavily in lobbying to prove it could protect U.S. user data. The result of those discussions is today's agreement. TikTok remains in the U.S., but under strict oversight and compliance measures that reflect the government's unease. This deal is more than a political compromise. It's a signal about where the future of tech is headed. For everyday users, the immediate impact is simple. TikTok isn't going anywhere. The dances, trends, and creators that fuel its cultural influence will continue to dominate feeds. But for the broader social media industry, the implications run much deeper. The U.S. government has effectively drawn a line, showing it can dictate the rules of engagement for foreign-owned platforms that want access to American audiences. That sets a precedent, and not just for TikTok. Apps from any country could find themselves under the same kind of scrutiny. From a business standpoint, TikTok's survival strengthens its position against rivals like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, proving it can withstand political headwinds. But the victory comes with strings attached. Compliance, oversight, and political pressure mean that its future will always be subject to forces outside of its own control. And here's the bigger takeaway. This saga highlights how intertwined politics and technology have become. Social media companies are no longer just competing on features or user growth. They're competing on geopolitical terms. To me, TikTok's deal is less about dancing videos and more about how global tech giants navigate an era of digital nationalism. In the end, TikTok's deal with the Trump administration doesn't just keep the app alive in the U.S., it redefines the rules of the game for global tech. It shows that even the most popular platforms can find themselves at the mercy of politics and that access to the American market is never guaranteed. For TikTok, the battle may be won, but the war over data, regulation, and control is far from over. And that leaves one question for the rest of us. If governments can decide the fate of the apps we use every day, what does that mean for the future of the internet? If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to subscribe to Brand Guy for more quick takes on the biggest business and tech stories shaping our world.